Ah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. There's a lot that's been talked about Raheem Sterling post our victory against Leicester in the FA Cup quarterfinals. We've obviously gone through to the semi-finals and we're going to meet Manchester City. We'll talk about all of that down the track. But first, ladies and gentlemen, Raheem Sterling, we need to have a serious conversation about this particular issue that has materialized. Look, he was booed off when he got substituted, and post-match, he actually came out and put out a public apology on Instagram. I believe it goes something like this: Raheem Sterling has apologized for the penalty miss and says he will be back. He adds that he will keep fighting for the badge, and I believe this is the Instagram post that he put out to all the Chelsea fans. Apologies for the penalty miss. I will be back 10 times stronger to help the team win and continue to keep fighting for the badge every single day. And off the back of this, he's obviously copped a lot of abuse. And this is going to happen. This is the unfortunate manifestation of social media. If you're involved in social media, if you're available in social media, and if you're a key figurehead, if you're a big celebrity or a sports star or an influencer, whatever it is, you're going to be subjected to abuse, insults. It's not the right thing, but it's going to happen. That's just the way it works. So, look, obviously, he put out that particular statement, and off the back of that, there's been some derogatory comments towards Sterling. But the great part is, players like Noni Madueke has come forward and defended Raheem Sterling, saying, bro, no need to apologize. We appreciate you, G. And then obviously there were some people that were commenting in a derogatory manner. And Noni Madueke has replied back saying, quiet, man, people like you are the issue. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about all of these things. First of all, Raheem Sterling being booed when he got substituted off. Do you know what? I've never seen these. I've only seen it with Chelsea Football Club. Now, I don't know whether other clubs, I'm pretty sure they probably do it as well. I've just not paid too much attention, but I've seen it at Chelsea Football Club. Your own players getting booed, Jorginho being one of them. There's been many other cases in recent times. I'm just thinking from a fan's point of view, I can only comment for myself. I can't comment on others, each to their own, I suppose. Everyone wears their heart in their sleeves, and when they're in the stadium, I guess emotions can take over. But me, I've been to a few matches. I've been to one Chelsea match in my whole entire life, but I've been to other matches, especially, for example, cricket. I go to Bangladesh. I'm from a Bangladeshi background. I go to Bangladesh's matches, and Bangladesh, they don't do well. They don't do well in cricket. The one thing I've always done is, look, I've been upset. I've been angry. I get agitated. I, get upset when certain things don't go your way as a fan. No problems. But I've never, ever booed my own player. I've never booed off a particular player. And I don't imagine myself, if I was to go to Stamford Bridge and a particular player drops an absolute stinker, which Raheem Sterling did against Leicester. And in recent times, Raheem Sterling has been dropping a lot of stinkers on a consistent manner. I still don't think I'd be booing my own player. I'm always here constructively criticizing. Yeah, there are times where I'm upset and emotional about it, but I'm never booing them. So look, from that booing perspective, I don't think that's right. Fans, especially when it's your own player, no need to boo. You can show your aggression that you're unhappy about the performance. I think booing goes to a different level. And then on top of that, when a player comes out and publicly apologizes, then to go in those comments. Now, look, some of these fans may not even be Chelsea fans. That's the other thing. How do you know if they're even Chelsea fans? All I'm going to say is that from a critical perspective, Raheem Sterling being an experienced player, he's not really done well this season. He really hasn't. In fact, he has actually let down his teammates. He has let down the football club. He has let down the manager. From an experienced player, you expect Raheem Sterling to make far better judgment, far better finishing and better decision making in the final third. That match against Leicester, that was madness, man. The way he missed the penalty, it was such a awful penalty. It was a pass straight to the goalkeeper. Then the free kick that skied into row Z. And there were many other moments as well. Obviously, he gets himself that assist for Cole Palmer, no problems about that. But Raheem Sterling, I think at the moment, it's getting to a situation where it might just be over with him and Chelsea Football Club and also the fan base. I think the fan base are at a point where maybe it's time to move on, Raheem. Maybe it's time to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know what your thoughts are. These are some of the things that people were saying yesterday. Obviously, I showed you the online shenanigans that took place. Look, I appreciate that Raheem Sterling has come out and apologized. You guys all know how much I like Raheem Sterling a lot. I really do think he's a very good player. Obviously, it's not worked out at Chelsea Football Club. I know the player I saw when he was young in Liverpool. I know the player I saw in Manchester City. It's a shame it's not really worked out, but we know on his day, and I know that on his day doesn't seem to happen too often, but on his day, this guy is a sensational footballer. Sad to see. But these are some of the things that people were saying online. Pat Nevin, the storyline with Raheem Sterling, even before he missed his penalty, he wasn't having a good day. He was having a stinker. He really wasn't having a good day. His decision making was awful. When he took that free kick near the end, which almost made it into the second tier of the Matthew Harding stand, it was almost difficult to do that. The entire crowd turned on him. Look, the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, he's been far too inconsistent. He's been consistently inconsistent in a squad that these young lads will be looking up to Raheem Sterling for, being that role model, being that example. He's been totally the opposite. And Pat Nevin is right. His body language was all wrong as well. You could see he's so out of confidence. He's a player that is shell shocked. And this is what really annoys me as an experienced player. How are you getting yourself shell shocked? You should be able to rise above and seize the opportunity and do well in when times are tough, when there is adversity. This is what I expect from a player that's been in the Premier League and has the experience in the Premier League more than anyone else in our football club at the moment. So sad to see that Raheem Sterling has really crumbled when times have got difficult. Pochettino and Sterling, we need to support him. He's an amazing player. He has more than 10 years Premier League experience. The contribution was good. He was a little bit unlucky with some actions, but we are a team and we need to be there for everyone. Look, bottom line, there were a few people that were saying in the live chat yesterday when we were doing the watch along that a firing Raheem Sterling, a Raheem Sterling that's on form, is only going to bode well for us. But that's the thing, are we at a situation where we don't have the time for you to come back into form anymore? We need to give others an opportunity, like your Mudriks, your Chukwuemekas, and so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Look, I still think the abuse is wrong, but we live in a social media era where these things will happen and you need to be able to handle it. He has apologized publicly. So let me know your thoughts about Raheem Sterling. I can already imagine a lot of people probably thinking he definitely needs to move on. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming out and he's throwing the punches. Look, there's a reason why I've been feeling in recent times that this guy might stick around for next season. He's coming out giving a hell of a lot of excuses that our board might appreciate, excuses that our owner might understand. And on a brighter side, I suppose, I know a lot of us probably don't want Pochettino. And after watching yesterday's match, let's be honest, basketball game, that's not the kind of football that I want to see Chelsea play. I want us to be a little bit more controlled. The one thing I have to say is that these players, they keep fighting for Pochettino. We were up 2-0, should have been 4-0, to be honest, against Leicester. Then it became 2-2 unnecessarily. And then we fought back to win it 4-2. In recent times, we've been fighting back to win games. And these players, every time when the pressure is on, they do pull up a particular victory for Pochettino. So players seem to be fighting for Pochettino. And I think these young lot, I don't feel they want to have constant changes. They want to give an opportunity to a manager where they can start building a foundation. So let's see what happens. But this is what Pochettino had to say post-match. Poch asks for more trust. When I arrived in England, Southampton, we need to go to Wembley. Tottenham, we need to go to Wembley. Now, look, 9 months here, we go to Wembley 2 times in 2 different competitions. We need to enjoy and we need to trust more. I feel like these things, he will harp on these things to the board, the sporting directors, the owners, and they'll understand him. They'll say, hey, look, yeah, okay, you've taken us to, the final of the Carabao Cup and now the semi-finals of the FA Cup. yeah, you haven't won it. We need to start winning things. But they may look at this and go, okay, this is maybe a step in the right direction. And in the league, we need to start fixing our position as well. See if we can come at least 7th, 6th with the fixtures that we've got remaining. So Pochettino asking for more trust, ladies and gentlemen. He further goes on to say, Pochettino, we're in a process to build what the fans want is to go to Wembley, and that we achieved. They need to trust me to manage in the way I think is the best way for the club. We need to respect their opinion as much as they need to respect my decision. Pochettino coming up with the fire. He's sending out the message to the fan base. You need to start respecting me. You need to start trusting me. You need to start believing me. Pochettino, look, do you know what? Some part of me is now sort of thinking, do you know, I'm willing to give you an opportunity next season. I mean, look, this season's gone. It's a write-off, right? Let's see what we can do in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup. We screwed that up in the final against Liverpool. I wish we had a comeback like Man United. Man United, this team, man, I don't know what to say about it. Like they always seem to somehow pull up these sort of victories. What a comeback from them to beat Liverpool. I wish we were able to beat Liverpool in such a manner in the Carabao Cup, but we weren't. Let's see what we can do in the FA Cup. We've got Manchester City. We'll talk about that very soon. But Pochettino, I'm at a point where, look, I don't like this guy. You all know very much I don't like this guy. But I'm at a stage where I'm like, you know, I want to see how you do next season. I really do. I want to see where you can take this team. Let's see how much gelling this team can do and see where it takes us next season. If it does falter in the first 10, 15 games, obviously, then we need to move on. But is it wise to make the change at the end of the season? Of course, we're not going to have any change right now, but is it wise to make the change at the end of the season? I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm thinking the players probably might not appreciate that. Pochettino further goes on to say, uses a program to defend young squad. People say, oh, big squad. What do you see? Under 18, under 18, under 18, under 21, under 21. You know why we use too many and we put them here? Because we use these guys in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup, or in the Premier League because of the injuries, big squad. It's long because we have too many injured players in the first team, and we should use all these kids. So he points to the program. Look, there are times where I hate the way this guy talks because he talks like a failure. But then there are times where he comes up with fire, and I feel like that's the fire that I want to see more often. That's the fire that I want to see, you know, him being emotional about the situation. I feel like that's how fans will connect. Look, from a footballing point of view, this guy mismanagement. Even yesterday, Mudryk went out when I don't think he probably deserved to go out, but he had a few things to say about that post-match as well. Raheem Sterling probably deserved to be out at halftime, to be honest, but he stayed on. And we've seen all throughout this season, the in-game management hasn't always been very, very good, especially at halftime. I don't know what conversation takes place at halftime. As soon as we come out after the halftime, it all goes pear-shaped for us. So there's a lot that Pochettino needs to fix from a tactical point of view. I don't think he's tactical at all, tactically apt as a manager to compete against some of the best managers in the Premier League. But as I keep saying, if the players want to keep fighting for him, then that means there's something there. All the barbecues that he keeps having, maybe there is some sort of team bonding that is happening at Chelsea Football Club. And, you know, with the abysmal season that we've already had, you know, so what? Let's see what this guy can do for the first 10 to 15 games next season and see where it goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about Poch coming out with the smoke post-match and saying, trust me, believe in me, understand me, and all that, respect me, all of that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Emirates FA Cup. So as you know, the draw, Man United versus Coventry, Manchester City versus Chelsea Football Club. First of all, Man United. Wow, congratulations to Man United. What a sensational comeback. Look, I went to bed actually at halftime because it was way too early in the morning. It was like 3:30. I had to go to bed, sleep, get ready for fasting the next day. I woke up and I was shocked, absolutely shell-shocked. I saw the highlights as well. How did Man United come back twice? Second half equalized, taking it to extra time, then extra time equalized, and then winning it with Diallo. They've got one player that I want to call out, Kobe Mainoo, man. That is going to be one sensational player for them. Diallo as well, looking very, very good. But Man United, they've done the madness. They've knocked out Liverpool. and Liverpool's dreams of doing the quad. I love it. And now they get themselves a fairly easy tie. Coventry should not be taken lightly, but you expect Man United to go to the final, and everyone's already writing us off. They're all expecting an all Manchester final. Look, I know this is daunting, but this season, if there's been a particular team that we've done well against, that's actually Manchester City. All I'm going to say is that if we were to win this FA Cup, which was a long shot anyway, we would have had to face Manchester City or Liverpool, either semi-finals or in the final, either one of those. So we've got them in the semi-final. Might as well see if we can take care of them. This is our opportunity. As our young squad, our new manager, have they learned anything from past experiences this season already? Can we put up a particular show and put Manchester City away? It's going to be a tall task. It's going to be a long day. But for some reason, we seem to be matched up quite evenly when it comes against Manchester City. The way they play, the way we want to play against them, it kind of cancels out all of their plans and programs. So look, big opportunity. If we can beat them, I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I will be, slightly confident in the final. Most likely it's going to be Man United unless some crazy stuff happens with Coventry. But it will be a difficult path to winning this FA Cup. Manchester City and then potentially Man United, who've been a bit of a thorn in our backside in recent times. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you think about that draw. I kind of did think that it was going to be Manchester City or potentially Liverpool in the semi-final. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this particular individual, let's hear this out. Let me just share that screen again. You guys might have already seen this clip, but Mr. Jurgen Klopp, this is quite rude. I mean, I've always said I don't like how this guy talks. I don't like how this guy talks at times in media. He's arrogant. Sometimes he talks a lot of rubbish as well. I know Liverpool fans, they love him, and good on you guys. He's not my manager. He's your manager. You obviously will have to appreciate him. He's done madness for you guys, no problems. But this guy, his arrogance is in a different level. And it's not even that kind of arrogance that you go, yeah, you kind of admire that kind of arrogance. But this is like borderline rude and obnoxious. This is what Jurgen Klopp said post-match to a particular journalist, because obviously he can't be bothered. He's probably upset. Klopp, you are obviously not in great shape and I have no nerves for you. Jurgen Klopp said this and walked out of an interview after losing today. He didn't like the question, didn't want to answer it, and this is how he went about it. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If I can play it now. Let's see if I... There we go.
The season starts, so let's hope they come back healthy. Normally, intensity is the name of your game, so how come it became so difficult in extra time?
A bit of a dumb question, I have to say, because when you see us that often, you never saw us, and you can ask how can they have more resources. We played, I don't know how many games recently, I don't know how many games United exactly played. That's sport. Yeah. Really disappointed about that question, but you thought obviously it's good.
So too many games, or
I think that, come on, you're obviously not in a great shape, and no nerves for you.
Wow, too many games. You're obviously not in great shape. This, that, the other. There's a lot of disrespect going towards that journalist. Any other manager gets into trouble, and this guy, for some reason, will keep getting away. So I'm fed up, man. I hope he gets punished for this. Honestly, I hope they look at this footage and they actually have a sit down with him and give him some sort of a fine, to how to behave. Just because it's your final season, you just say whatever you want to say. The journalist just said, you're all about intensity, you're all about energy. What happened in the extra time? And for Jurgen Klopp to go out there and just reply in that manner. I believe this was a Scandinavian, based publication. So Scandinavian Reporter, Scandinavian publication. Now, I don't know whether he was just disrespecting because it's not one of the English main media outlets. So look, bottom line, it's just how could you go and just say that you obviously look out of shape? Like, why are you calling him fat for? Like, what is that? That's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And as I said, I hope he gets punished for that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.